Paramount Studios is currently facing a decision regarding the next Star Trek movie. They're debating whether to continue with the development of Star Trek 4 or to start fresh with a reboot of the entire Star Trek franchise. The fourth installment in the Kelvin Timeline series, originally directed by J.J. Abrams, has faced numerous setbacks and delays spanning more than 7 years. Various renowned filmmakers including Quentin Tarantino, Matt Shakman, and Noah Hawley have been attached to the project at different points, but ultimately left. Writer-director Lindsey recently mentioned that Star Trek 4 is still in the works, even though she departed the project to focus on Pet Sematary Bloodlines. Recent reports indicate that Star Trek 4 may take a different direction, possibly involving a reboot of the franchise. However, there is some uncertainty surrounding this information. It has been 7 years since the release of Star Trek Beyond, and fans are eager to see the return of actors like Chris Pine and the Kelvin Timeline crew. The preferred outcome for many fans would be a soft reboot, where the cast returns, but with a storyline that doesn't directly tie into the Kelvin Timeline continuity. This approach would provide a fresh start while keeping beloved characters intact. On the other hand, the term reboot suggests that Paramount might be inclined to take the Star Trek franchise into an entirely new direction, potentially leaving behind the Kelvin Timeline continuity for good. This could mean a significant departure from the familiar Star Trek universe and a desire to explore uncharted territory. The uncertainty lies in whether this reboot will embrace the existing characters and their journeys, or introduce entirely new elements to the Star Trek universe. The fact that it's been 7 years since the release of Star Trek Beyond might seem like a considerable gap, and it shouldn't necessarily be a reason to abandon plans for Star Trek 4. The extended period is put into perspective when considering that Paramount's most successful box office hit in 2022 was Top Gun Maverick, a sequel to a movie that's 36 years old. This success demonstrates that audiences are still interested in revisiting beloved franchises with long gaps between installments. In contrast, attempting to reboot a movie franchise in less than a decade has historically not yielded positive results. Examples are Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man movies and Josh Trank's widely criticized Fantastic Four film, which illustrate the challenges and potential pitfalls of attempting a reboot within such a short time frame. These instances indicate that it's often more effective to continue the existing story or characters, as audiences may not be ready for a complete reinvention of a beloved series in such a short span. It's puzzling that even though actors like Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto have expressed their eagerness to reprise their roles for more Star Trek movies, Paramount Studios appears to be leaning towards a reboot rather than continuing with Star Trek 4. The concern here is that a full-fledged reboot, while it may rely on the dedicated fanbase of Star Trek, could face challenges in attracting a more mainstream, broader audience. Given the existing groundwork of a well-established movie franchise, a willing and talented cast, and clear audience interest, it makes a compelling case for Star Trek 4 to be the logical next step. The combination of all these factors should ideally make it more appealing and practical choice, as it capitalizes on a known and beloved brand while also ensuring that both the dedicated fanbase and a wider range of moviegoers are more likely to turn out for the film. But what would a Star Trek movie reboot be about versus a Chris Pine sequel? By the way guys, don't forget to give this a thumbs up, and for more updates, subscribe to our channel. With the advent of the Star Trek Strange New Worlds, it becomes clear that any potential movie reboot shouldn't focus on revisiting the iconic characters of Captain Kirk, Spock, and the USS Enterprise NC-1701. Attempting to recast Captain Kirk in particular would place an immense burden on the actor taking on the role. Not only would they be compared to the legendary William Shatner, but they'd also have to contend with a legacy of actors like Chris Pine and Paul Wesley, who have portrayed Kirk in various forms. Instead, a more promising approach for a Star Trek reboot would be to explore the vast Star Trek canon and uncover untold stories that could benefit from the cinematic treatment. There are numerous significant events in the Star Trek universe, such as the Earth-Romulan War or the Cardassian Border Wars, which have remained unexplored on the big screen. These stories could offer fresh opportunities to showcase new starship crews led by notable Hollywood actors, allowing for a reinvigorated take on the Star Trek franchise without the pressure of recreating beloved characters. A potential Star Trek 4 movie led by Chris Pine's character Captain Kirk could be a fitting conclusion to his character arc by centering on the aging crew of the Enterprise as they contemplate their futures. This approach would echo the successful formula of some of the best Star Trek films from the original series era, where the crew grappled with issues related to their legacy. One possible storyline to explore could be a revisit to the plot involving David Marcus from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. This could serve as an ideal way to address the father issues that have been a recurring theme for Chris Pine's Kirk throughout the Kelvin Timeline series. This storyline would offer a chance for closure and character development. The existing J.J. Abrams' Star Trek cast, including Pine, has proven its potential and has garnered a dedicated fan following. This is why the rumors of a franchise reset are causing concern. Instead of starting over, there appears to be a wealth of untapped potential in continuing with the existing characters and storylines, allowing them to evolve and provide a satisfying conclusion to their narratives. On the other hand, the Star Trek franchise on Paramount Plus continues with new stories and made-for-streaming movies, as well as more Discovery and animated shows. Star Trek Lower Decks Season 4. Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard share a serious and morally complex tone, while Star Trek Lower Decks offer a humorous animated series aimed at adults. It humorously explores the less glamorous aspects of Starfleet life. Lower Decks has received positive reviews and will have a 4th season in late summer 2023 with 10 episodes. It also features crossover appearances of characters in live action in Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2. Star Trek Prodigy Season 2 Part 1. Star Trek Prodigy is a CGI animated, family-friendly series that was a pleasant surprise in its first season. It follows a group of young aliens who steal a Federation starship to escape their oppressive owner and learn about Starfleet ideals from a holographic Captain Janeway. The second season will feature Admiral Janeway leading the crew, and the first half is set to air in late 2023, promising an exciting continuation of the story. Star Trek Discovery Season 5. Star Trek Discovery is set to conclude with its 5th season, bringing Commander Michael Burnham's 23rd century adventures to an end. The series had a challenging start creatively, but found its footing when it moved to the 32nd century in Season 3. Despite having a devoted fan base and being credited with reviving the Star Trek franchise, it now seems somewhat out of sync with the current direction of the series. With the cost of production increasing, the show's 5th season, scheduled for early 2024, will mark the conclusion of Star Trek Discovery. Star Trek Section 31. The planned Section 31 project, which was initially considered for a series, will now be the first Star Trek original movie for Paramount Plus. It will feature Emperor Philippa Georgiou from the Mirror Universe, a character who softened during a time in the Prime Universe. After facing displacement in time and dimension, she was granted access to a different time frame by the Guardian of Forever. The movie titled Star Trek Section 31 is expected to premiere on Paramount Plus in 2024. And there you have it. As the Star Trek universe continues to evolve and expand, fans have much more to look forward to, from potential reboots to the conclusion of beloved series. Which aspect of the Star Trek universe are you most excited about? Share your opinions and expectations for the future of Star Trek on the big screen.